estás? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hello, it's Linda. Namyo. Welcome. So this video, welcome to Divine Essence with Linda. I wanted to welcome you guys and thank you for coming back to check my YouTube channel out about divine essence and spirituality and law of attraction and meditation and Nam-myoho-renge-kyo and all of that good stuff. And just going within yourself in order to have a human revolution within to change everything outside of yourself effortlessly. And so I've been meditating. Yesterday I meditated for probably about 4 hours yesterday. And I was like just inside meditating, and I've started to be in the abandoned building in order to turn this abandoned building, right? This is alternatives that I'm talking about. So again, all of my other people that are awakening during this time to realize that you're healers, but you're still feeling like you have to feed the thought of I need a job, I need this housing, I need money, I need. Again, put these thoughts out of your mind that you know that you need a job, that you need money. Put all those out of your mind, right? Really, like seriously, because it's going to get you thinking. It's going to get you on your toes, right? This is a time of awakening to be resilient, to be innovative, to be creative, to find alternatives, right? So you have to find, like, camping outside in a tent. I did that for a little while. Now, and that was in order to, focus less on not having bills and to not work on a job, but to work on myself, essentially, right? So I could heal and listen to particular guided meditations to heal past life traumas, to heal childhood traumas, to heal, all these things that I needed to release that were blocking me and creating disease and not allowing me to move forward in my life. And so now that I have done these guided meditations, and now I do my self-meditation, which is Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, 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 Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. All right, so I do these meditations in order to keep my energy high, right? My chakras clear of disease. And then I'm practicing breathing, right? Because again, like I said, if you're still smoking cigarettes, a lot of ascended masters are like, wow, they'll buy poison, they'll buy anything, right? Because you have to really think about this. Like, you're putting poisons and toxicity in your body if you're smoking cigarettes, when your higher self is really just saying, go breathe, right? But we have placed it with habits of feeling like we need to smoke cigarettes and all these unhealthy ways. So really, if you just go meditate anytime you get into an argument, or you feel anxious, or you feel in fear, or you feel these lower ways of PTSD, or anything that someone starts to agitate you, right? These are things that I started to in place, like instead of combating and fighting back physically or verbally, I would just go and meditate, right? I would just take a few minutes and walk away, right? And they'd still try to get in my face. And while they're in my face, I still meditate, right? Because I'm showing that I'm practicing something new. I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to say something I don't mean. I want to keep my vibrations high. I don't want to put aggression and rage out there, right? I want to be in a peaceful state. I want to have self-mastery. I want to control myself, because I can't control what somebody else feels or thinks or does. I can only control myself. And so I end up going to meditate anytime I'm stressed or in fear, and I have no fear, right? That's why I'm able to do this journey of finding alternatives, right? And I'm always in different locations when you guys see me, because I'm always filming myself on my journey, whether I'm in the woods or I'm in a restaurant or a store, wherever I have Wi-Fi, right? When I'm cutting back the bills in order to be resourceful and find alternatives, which is why I'm now in this abandoned building that I've become blessed with, to have this opportunity that has multiple rooms, and I'm turning into La Abuelas de Casa, where at Granny's house it's going to be a 501c3, which is the nonprofit. And so anything that that might come my way as far as donations or anything that I earn from, whatever I've blessed with or benefited from, that I put in, my time and focus, then what comes back I'm going to put in towards these projects in order to, give back to the people in the streets and the community, things that we truly need, right, that aren't serving us. So like in this area right now that I'm in, Pleasant Hill, the resource building is shut down. The resource building is typically where we would go in order to use computers and phones, Wi-Fi, and resources to find work and all these things. Well, right now we don't need to find work. We need to find somewhere we can practice, having a safe sanctuary for spirituality practice, right? Meditation, something like a temple, but not a temple. So Granny's house is essentially kind of like when you go to Granny's house, Granny worries about two things, right? Your health, so food, your spirit, and faith, right? So my faith practice, of course, is Buddhahood. So at Granny's house, it's all about food and meditation. So as long as you meditate, you can stay as long as you like and eat food, right? And that's pretty much it. Just work on yourself and healing and awakening during these times, because it's a time, this breakdown, right, with the system crumbling like it is actually a really good thing, because just like coming full circle, everything dies like in the seasons, right? So when winter comes, everything freezes over and starts to die, like the leaves and the trees, and then all of a sudden in spring, it comes back to life. And so essentially during this time, you can look at it like the system is shutting down in order to serve us better, right? So we can create something new. So it doesn't have to be a time of fear, but a time of possibly like things breaking down, so we can have breakthroughs and we can actually contribute to this society, right? So you have to go within. And so that's why I want to create this 501c3 in order to have a sanctuary for people to go to, La Abuelas de Casa, Granny's house, to go just focus on healing, going within yourself, right? So that's why it's only about food and meditation, because it's all the bare necessities of what you need, because we don't need anything outside of ourselves. So you'll have shelter, you'll have food, and you'll be able to practice faith, right? Meditation, whatever you believe in, right? But meditation is key. Meditation is the medication. You can, do whatever mantra you would like to do, but of course I'm going to recommend Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. So during these times, again, this is what I'm focusing on. And so I'm just merely documenting my journey here on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe and like and spread the word. If you know anybody that's incarcerated, or somebody that's on the streets, or somebody that's in between jobs, or somebody that's a spiritual healer, or they're like really empathic or in tune, but they don't know where to go, send them to my channel so that way they can have some sort of inspiration or some positive reinforcement or support or ideas that might kind of be useful to them, right? Because this is a time where all the oddities and the weirdos and the strange people that are called crazy or get put into mental institutes, these are our times, okay? These are our times of awakening to really come into ourselves and come into our natural abilities and gifts and utilize it to create a new system. But first we have to awaken to this and work on ourselves, and meditation is perfect for that, because then once you do meditation, you're aligning your realities, your worlds, and your mind, body, and spirit. And so then as you awaken and you have a clear mind, you're not going to need any medications, you're not going to need any doctors outside of yourself. You're going to be very in tune with your whole physical aspect, right? And so these videos and my journey documenting is merely, just to enforce going within ourselves and not going outside of ourselves. And so the last video I posted myself in the abandoned building, because that's an alternative, right? You might have some other, whoever's coming out, like if you're in another state or whatever, you see this, you're coming out of prison and you're like, I don't know where to go. Like, you can get in touch with me or find a building. These are alternatives. Or start off in a tent like I did, right? Excuse me. Start off in a tent in order to be simplistic, right? Because there's no shame in our game, right? So if you know that you don't want to focus on bills, you don't want to be enslaved, you don't want to enslave other people because you're awakening to this isn't our world, right? This is not our world. So we're to work a job, to do all these things outside of ourselves is enslaving ourselves and enslaving whoever's world this is, right? So you have to really get back to basics and learn the truth in order to have these awakenings, and then start to free yourself and free other people, right? So the actual idea of liberation for all is actually a reality, okay? So people just need to embrace that and not feel like they're living in shame or embarrassment of living frugal, right? And then so as you embrace that and become comfortable with these realities and ways, then society will start to change too, because now we'll have other people that are awakening, that are, adding to society with 501c3s like the one that I'm having, right? Granny's Casa, okay? Granny's house. And then also there will be more coming, okay? So just keep an eye out for these videos and other projects like this that I'm working on, because I'm sure other people will be working with me and working on other projects like that. And again, meditate. I can't stress that enough. Like, to be a leader, to lead yourself, you have to be focused. And during these times, it's going to be like you're in a fog, your brain feels like mush, you feel like you can't think for yourself, because if you're only surrounding yourself with falsehood and news and fear and control and manipulation, then you're not going to get anywhere. You have to really turn all of that stuff off, get yourself away from it, and choose. If you do listen to things outside of yourself, make sure they're positive affirmations. Make sure it's not just music that's ever changing. You know, oh yeah, okay, I put on this good music, it's my jam, but then all of a sudden it goes off and you're like, I'm distraught again, right? So turn on something that's positive affirmations. I go to YouTube, positive affirmations, positive subliminals that pretty much, you know, talk about the law of attraction or spirituality, or positive words like I am, you know, worthy, all these things, so that you're feeding it to your subconscious. Because in order to naturally flow to where you're like actually forming new habits, right? Thought, speech, actions, you have to get the subconscious. So allow that to play. Like, as a parent would sing Rockabye Baby to a baby, putting them to sleep, right? And a baby grows up remembering these things, is because you were playing it to the baby while the baby was sleeping. So if you play subliminals or positive affirmations while you're sleeping, or healing frequencies while you're sleeping, it's going to hit your subconscious. Okay, so play these things while you're sleeping. And I only recommend these because I've tried them. And, you know, I'm not that type of person that's going to recommend something that's not doing it, okay? I'm only going to tell you what I'm doing that works for me. And just because it works for me or you doesn't mean it's going to work for vice versa, okay? But I'm just saying, if you want to try it, these are the things I'm doing, and then you can kind of adjust from there which ones work for you. It's kind of like a guideline. So you're not going to listen to the exact same ones I listen to, because of course we all have different childhood traumas. We all have different, but I do recommend that though. Like, go listen to guided meditations of release and clearing for those that have had childhood trauma and abuse, or, you know, sexual things that might have been done to you that you cannot release, and you're having issues and blockages and like things way back in your mind that are holding you down. Like, go listen to guided meditations in order to release that trauma and damage, because I had to do that too. On top of the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, I had to do the, you know, guided meditations to release those things, and like it helped cleanse and then clear. And then of course I cried for a little bit, because you got to let that part go, those aspects and those trauma, and then you have to accept, forgive, and then move forward. So the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, the chanting mantra that I do regularly now, is for discipline. It's like karate, taking your kid to sports or martial arts or karate or chorus or whatever it is. And they have to be disciplined, right? You have an hour of discipline where you've got to go and you're like, okay, this is what you need to do it. Okay, and so that's what you do. I start my day every day with drinking water and some sort of, what is it called? The mother apple cider vinegar with some cinnamon now. And then I meditate. So I usually start meditating 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes at least 15 minutes, right? And if I am like rushing out the door, I'll meditate as I'm walking. So wherever I go when I'm walking, I'm meditating. So usually a walk will take about 30 minutes, 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? So that's a 30-minute meditation time. And so you get those in every day. And like they say in the divine etheric world, one day is like 1,000 days in the etheric realm, right? Because light, divinity moves is at the speed of light, so it's so fast. So one of our days is one day, 1,000 days in, you know, the spiritual realm. So imagine if you're dedicating 1 hour a day to meditation, you have changed a lot of days in the etheric realm of realities, right? And so just start to think about that. No excuses. Sit down and meditate, just like you would have your kid. You don't want to do it with your kids, you go send them somewhere to go discipline. Discipline yourself. You can't be disciplining your kids if you're not disciplining yourself. Sit down and focus and meditate, parents, adults, for real. No excuses. Meditate. Spend 30 minutes in the daytime, 30 minutes at nighttime. That's an hour of you time to focus. Don't tell nobody else what to do, not even your child, if you can't dedicate 1 hour, 30 minutes morning, 30 minutes at night to meditation, to center and align your mind, body, and spirit. Because don't nobody want to hear somebody telling somebody what to do, and they're not even disciplined with a, you know, regimen, you know what I'm saying? So do that. Come up with a mantra, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, I recommend, or whatever, and do it. 30 minutes, focus.